Welcome to the best show about love and relationships. Become a free member on my website for my free 1-hour video and free relationship advice. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Let us go ahead and begin, shall we? All right. What do we have here for our first comment? Dark psychology of breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing isn't accidental neglect. It's a strategic campaign of minimal effort. The breadcrumber sends a hi, a meme, or a miss you text, just often enough to keep you believing a feast is coming. Their goal is not to win you, but to keep you as an option, a backup source of validation who remains perpetually on standby, investing hope in someone who has no intention of delivering. Okay, so breadcrumbing is pretty simple to understand. Your partner gives you a little bit of attention here and there, keeps you hanging on, is not really serious about the relationship, acts strange here and there, and you want to make the relationship work, so you continue to hang on and hope for things to change for the better. But it keeps going on, this slippery slope, unpredictable, spontaneous, bad situations occurring constantly. And it is, in a way, a form of abuse when you really think about it, because your partner's doing it on purpose. They're starving you of that much needed emotional attention in an important relationship, because this is a form of neglect that is just playing around with your feelings, your emotions, and your mind ultimately. So it is a pretty dire situation to be involved in, because your partner is just simply playing mind games with you. But it's a lot more sinister than that. That's why this person here says dark psychology, because in a way, it comes from somebody who is ruthless, ultimately, and their mind is too far gone to try to bring them back to a loving personality if they ever had one. And this is a dangerous situation. And this also falls in suit with the bad guys or the bad girls, the baddies out there. Not all of them are cool, which I don't encourage people to go with the bad boy or the baddies. You know, that illusion is not always the way you think it's going to be. They could be mentally, psychologically messed up and start playing these types of games with you because they know that you're into them for the wrong reasons. So to them, they're thinking about using you while you're thinking about trying to build a meaningful relationship. So breadcrumbing is all about giving you just enough to keep you hanging on. And then when you think they're going to be loving enough to where you can actually call it a working relationship, they pull back and don't give you anything at all. So it's this touch and go with neglect, pretend to be in a relationship. It's just pretty much pretending the entire way. Unfortunately, not everybody realizes that they're getting played in this manner. And better said, abused with this breadcrumbing. It's not even really a strategy. It's just an act. And the person doesn't have to necessarily be narcissistic. They just have to be unloving. They just don't really care as much as you do. Let's go ahead and move on to the next comment, shall we? See what more we can see about breadcrumbing in general. Breadcrumbing after your relationship is a different kind of disrespect. They give you the bare minimum and intermittent attention to keep you on the leash, on the hook, and use you as an option. Yeah, that's what we were discussing. They emotionally bait you when they know you start to move on. They will pop in and out of your life. Okay, so say you move on from such a relationship, the breadcrumbing, abusive, neglect type relationship. They're going to come in and out of your life afterwards because you shut them out. They can't take that. You're begging clarity, but they're handing out confusion. Stop calling it effort when it just prolongs disrespect. Walk away even if it feels like it's impossible. You are worthy of love. Yeah, so it's a tough situation because they keep you hanging on just enough to where you think that it could work out, as we were discussing before. And then you finally just say, okay, I call it quits. I'm tired of this roller coaster, ups and downs, too little too late. And then you leave them. But then they start to stalk you. This doesn't always happen, but I would say probably a 50% chance that they can turn into a stalker. Maybe less. It depends. There's no surefire definitive way of coming up with such a reoccurrence, such a percentage. But yeah, dipping in and out of your life kind of mess with you. They're miserable. And they never were happy with you. They never were planning to be happy with you. And that's just a sad reality. This can also happen with families, by the way. They can pretend to love you, but they're just going through the motions. They're playing the role of brother, sister, mother, father. In the end of the day, they don't care about you. They could live with or without you. You're not really important unless you follow their protocol. It's all about them, not about you. And in an abusive relationship, it works the same way. With this breadcrumbing especially. So as long as you follow, but even if you follow what they want in a breadcrumbing, / abusive relationship, they're still never going to be happy. And the same thing in an abusive family. Even if you follow everything that they want, you're going to be unhappy. They're going to realize you're unhappy. And then they're still going to get upset because you're not happy with what they want you to do. And the same thing works in a relationship. They'll detect that. They'll be like, well, you need to be happy because it's my way or the highway. You need to smile while you're doing my way or the highway. Otherwise, you're going to make me upset. So it's going to get far, even if you try to make a breadcrumbing relationship work, it's going to fail in the long run, one way or another. You cannot win in such a relationship. It's worse than mediocrity because at least in mediocrity, you still have an opportunity to improve the relationship. In this type of abusive relationship, you have no chance. It's already it's already downgrading with time. There is no hope in this type of abusive relationship. It's neglect on steroids, but playing around with your heartstrings at the same time. All right, final comment of the show. Women finally waking up, no longer settling for crumbs, then breadcrumbing men back and giving them a taste of their own medicine is one of the best Uno reverse cards of our generation. They really expect you to chase after them when they gave you nothing of substance to begin with. Their lack of awareness and accountability is laughable. Okay, wow, this is a toxic person. A toxic female we're dealing with here. Not worthy to be called a real woman. What is this? Revenge, the famous saying, you better dig 2 graves, right? There's no pleasure in revenge. You're not going to get that wasted time back. You're not going to get rid of that unhappy feeling that you have, than that what you actually went through as well, those bad experiences. You can't get your life back. You need to get over it. Revenge is not an option when the relationship is over. And notice what she says here. Women finally waking up. No. Those are most likely, if they're decent women, good women, now they're turning to the dark side. They're turning bad. They're becoming the very thing that caused them to become this in the first place. So evil people create more, they say that pain creates more pain. Hurt people, that sort of thing. That's what this is. It's not waking up. You're not waking up. You're actually traumatized. Perhaps PTSD. It could be a disorder at this point. Because it's not waking up. That's the illusion. Revenge is just not an option. You need to move on. You need to be happy. That's the only cure. That's the only option. No longer settling for crumbs. And so you're going to do the same thing to them, breadcrumbing men back. Okay, innocent men are not the people that caused you that pain. So you're attacking innocent men and creating victims to experience the same thing that you went through. This is what's really sickening about this situation when we're talking about breadcrumbing from this angle. So these female victims are so bitter, so unhappy, so hurt that they're going to go out there and say, well, I'm going to hurt men because I'm miserable. Somebody needs to pay for this misery. Instead of the person that actually caused you that misery. And this is what's truly sickening, because they're out of control now. And like I said before, they became the very thing that has caused them to become this monster. And then they're going to call it, well, I'm waking up and I want my revenge. You can't get revenge by hurting innocent men out there. And then let's go ahead and do that Uno reverse card like we saw here. Let me slap an Uno reverse card. How would you like it if men who were hurt by a breadcrumbing woman, how would you like it if they went out there and hurt innocent women and broke their hearts as a form of revenge? You see how ridiculous that is, right? It doesn't solve anything. It's just evil behavior. It's toxic. It's immature. So these females here thinking that they're women to begin with, no, they're giving up the woman card by choosing to be toxic females not worthy to be called women anymore. Those who participate in this sort of sick, quote-unquote, revenge plot. It's not revenge. You're just showing the world how hurt you are, and you're hurting innocent men. And even if you were going to target bad, toxic men, right? It doesn't matter. You can't get revenge on the person that hurt you by hurting other toxic men. And why would you want to waste your time, the time of your life, doing so anyway? It's not going to bring all those hours wasted of your life, all those years, it's not going to bring them back. It's not going to make you feel whole again. All you're doing is wasting more time of your life by seeking revenge on the wrong people. And that's what's really laughable. That's your lack of awareness and accountability for your own actions, to have engaged in such toxic relationships, because the red flags were there. You weren't paying attention, so you need to wake up. And with that said, if you made it this far, it's time to become a free member on my website. You'll get free relationship advice, my free 1-hour video, and so much more. Also, drop a comment in the comment section with the topic that you'd like for me to go over in a future video. Much love, everybody.